What up, what up? Good evening, my good people. Back with you again, conditioning for business. Been a second since I've been able to catch back up with my good people. And wanted to actually come back and discuss some few things here that's been on the mind. You know how it goes. And so I wanted to discuss this evening, in all transactions, in all interactions with everyone, including business people alike, all walks of life, it's very important, and I say this, very, very important to stay true to your word and execute according to your statement and your promise. Always be a person of your word. You know, we don't have it all figured out, business people out here. We don't. We do what we say we can do based upon what we can do. And sometimes it comes to pass that we're just caught in emotions of working with who we work with and trying to make the best of a situation that could be on its last leg or not a leg at all, or sometimes trying to create a leg. But a lot of the times there is no leg. And we're just doing what we do. And a lot of the times you'll get people who will make these promises, and what you'll do as a professional is you'll make your promises to the people that you make your promises to based upon the relationship or the abilities or the stated abilities from some of the people that you might work with or do some things with. You may say to yourself, I'm going to do this based on the fact that I think my people can do what they say they can do. And then you'll set a contract up according to that style of operation or that modus operandi. And then what happens is you find out that your people who you're dealing with on the side of performance can't perform to some degree, and it leaves you holding the bag. So what do you have to do then? You have to find a way out. And it's simply going to always become a situation where someone else is supposed to be doing something, and a lot of people set their business up around that. Now let's talk about that for a second. I'm the type of person, I feel like it's not indicative upon you to base your business model around third-party sources or third-party outsources or third-party suppliers or vendors or whoever else that you deal with. It is my contention that you should always base your services and abilities strictly upon your abilities. In essence, if you have a contract directly with a supplier of something, it's okay at that point to then engage someone based upon your contract with them and what you can deliver upon. That's okay. Because normally when the courts get involved, people don't like to be hemmed up behind things they had nothing to do with. So, in essence, you want to be able to soundly structure your business around those types of principles if you can muster it. Okay? But here's a thought for you. Here's something that you should think about. You're going to always want to aspire to structure your business operations around relationships or direct situations that you can control. Therefore, you're never going to be 100% able to decrease the likelihood that something can go wrong, but you can definitely decrease the likelihood by a few margin points that something could go wrong, because it's still within your control. And anytime you have human error to account for something, you always have to include the possibility or probability that something can go sideways. I don't like Murphy. I don't like his law, but it stands as truth sometimes. What could go wrong can go wrong. What can go wrong will go wrong. In essence, you should be aspiring to control that so that Murphy's law is significantly reduced to the point to where it affects or impacts your probable business or potential business, prospective business. You want to be able to mitigate that by controlling both sides of the table. Now, in essence, you will have a supplier on one side of something who you have a direct relationship with, and then on the other side, you'll have a person who needs that service from you. You being the service renderer or the service supplier or the provider, you want to be able to shave off on the other side as many entities or as much fat as you can. Shave the fat, because the people in the middle are always the fat. I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. You want to be able to shave the fat, cut the fat if you can muster it, because the people who are standing between you and what you do on either side are going to cause you to potentially or prospectively lose business and lose face, as you know, in accordance with what you do. And of course, everyone, this is a night ride. I do this from time to time. You see me normally walking the trail and exercising and things like that, conditioning for business. You know how it is. Sometimes we have to hit the road to clear our mind. And this is one of those nights in the CLT. So back to what I was saying, I digress. But again, back to it. You want to always shave the possibility that something could go wrong by controlling the narrative. This is one of the situations of scenarios that you would like to control the narrative, and you should control the narrative. Always be able to put yourself in a position to where you're never going to be able to control everything, but at least you'll be able to control something. And that reduces or mitigates the probability that something could go sideways. And, you know, so get as close to the end sources as possible on both sides. And then ultimately you want to be the source on both sides. You want to be the guy that can ring up either source on one side or the other and complete your transaction and move on. That is ideally what you should aspire to do or aspire to have. That's my suggestion to you. I say to always be in that position. You don't want to be in a predicament, but you want to be in a position. If you end up in a predicament, it's because something went sideways and you couldn't control. Now you have to answer for it. It's happened to the best of us. And so I found myself counseling my constituents repeatedly on these situations and these tactics. You have to mentally be sick of these types of scenarios from affecting you. And you have to go through it a few times. It happens. I'm going through it a few times. You have to literally go through it a number of times to where you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's happened to me in my long career that I've been doing what I do. And I'm sure it's happened to people longer than I have, that's been in it longer than me, or been in business longer than I have. So I only share these things because I don't like to see my fellow businessmen and businesswomen and business people struggle. I don't like to see it. I like to see us all have success. I like to see us close transactions. I like to see us come to the end of the line where we're going to ultimately have that success, and it's going to actually culminate in prosperity for you, your constituent, and your client. And so that is ultimately the message that I'm looking to relay here tonight. Always aim to control the narrative, and then you cut down on all of the rhetoric and the hogwash that you'll hear from third-party providers. You know, they lose out on something, or they go left, or something on their side goes wrong. And then another thing, I meant to mention, pardon me, let me go back on this. Another thing you should remember always is third parties in the middle between you and the end people on both sides. What ends up happening sometimes is they have personal situations that can get in the way, and now you got to wait on them to even get to a conversation point with the end source. It's total anarchy. It can cause a huge ripple effect in everything you do if you paste your business behind those who are in a certain personal position on their side that are basically standing in with the gatekeeper. The gatekeepers, they keep you from getting to your end sources on both sides. You want to work to eliminate these people. Trust me, you should aspire to do that. Never ever settle on the fact that you have resources and contacts. Get to the end. Get to the end of the line. You want to get to the end. You want to be the bookend of the sandwich. You don't want to be the meat. You want to be both ends. You want to be able to control left and right. You don't want to be in the middle. That's just never a good place to be. You can't control a single thing, and you will be frustrated a lot of the times in certain situations and transactions that you are engaged upon. All of your endeavors will greatly be affected. Trust me when I tell you that. I've had to dig a lot of people out of graves, shallow graves and deep graves over stuff like that. You do not want that to be you. You want to be the person standing on the other side saying, hey, I sign off on this. This is my situation. I can make it go or I can make it stop. It's really my discretion. You want complete discretion. Total control. It's not that you're being a control freak. It's just that you're mitigating prospective failure. The only way you can mitigate prospective failure is to control your end of the game. Make certain that you do that, or else you will face an untimely demise in business because your reputation will be ruined. Believe you me, your reputation is at stake. And that is why you want to be a control freak when it comes to your business. It is your livelihood, your commercial and financial livelihood that we're talking about. It's for you and your family. It's what's keeping your lights on. It's what's keeping your rent paid or your mortgage paid. You have to be a control freak when it comes to your business. And if anybody has something to say about that, then they're just ridiculous, because at the end of the day, the ones who don't want to control their business should be employees, where they're used to being told what to do and how to do it. And they just exchange dollars for hours, time for cents. Go right ahead. You can have it all in that regard. That's not for me, and that's not for the people that I work with. We want to be in control of our own affairs. And to do that, you have to shave the fat. And the fat in this particular situation is equivalent to those who stand in your way and block your progress. That's all I have for you guys this evening. Is conditioning for business once again. All right. I thank you guys for listening. Like, share, and subscribe if you love this content, and we will continue to drop more. Blessings to you all. Peace.